we are going largely by clean the glasses positional designations, which means the next draft will probably not be shooting guards, but like wings or combo guards. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We are, however, me and Benji, the committee of two, met earlier today and decided that certain people who are not listed as point guards should be included in this draft because, despite what Ben Falk may think for reasons that we don't have access to, are clearly point guards. And those players, who do we decide? We decided Tyrese Halliburton, Kyrie Irving, Jamal Murray, and who's the last one?
I didn't know there was another one, or if he was, he's not on my list. So
no, wait, hold on. Oh, CJ McCollum. CJ McCollum.
Oh, he is on my list, actually.
Yes, there you go. And all of those players are the nominal point guards for their teams, with the, I guess, exception of Kyrie Irving. And I don't really care about Ben Simmons, but Ben Simmons could get drafted today. Sure.
I'd actually argue, again, depending on how you define it, I think Jokic is basically the point guard on that team. Even in terms of who brings up the ball now, because he brings up the ball at least half the possessions, I think. Like Jokic just has the ball all the time.
But so we're not drafting Nikola Jokic.
No. He's a center. But anyway, we include Murray.
Hold on. I guess I'm going to record this. And of course I am old school, so I'm going to do this with a pencil.
I love that.
And a piece of paper.
That piece of paper will be worth a lot of money one day.
Oh, of course it will be. And as I am finding that piece of paper, Benji, your first pick in the 2023. Oh yeah, we're in the new year.
My first pick. The reigning finals MVP, the greatest shooter to ever live, Steph Curry.
I found my daughter's little journal, by the way. That's what we're recording this in.
The Jordan Hill Consolation Prize.
Oh my God.
Steph Curry.
Oh my Lord. Oh God. Okay. Was that hard for you at all?
I thought about the potential second pick for a moment. I think the fact that this is a 1-year situation, and obviously the pedigree, which I weighed fairly heavily because playoff pedigree, I weighed pretty heavily because we're talking about trying to win a championship. I think that's important. And malleability, right? Like someone who, although he's small, can play off the ball, on the ball, makes no difference. He's the best at either. And it holds up defensively just fine and is one of the smartest players to ever play. So, yep, that's my number one. Didn't think too hard about
it. When I first thought about this exercise, like I said last night, I was like, it's a tough pick at the top. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, it's not. It's actually very easy. I don't know. He's when you get into playoff basketball, who when scoring becomes a lot harder, who bends defenses more and like more easily than Steph Curry. It's nobody, to say nothing of his insane numbers this year, which are insane.
What his points per shot attempt? Did you see? What was that stat?
It's 138.4.
38.4.
The next guy who's in the sort of category that we're talking about would be Donovan Mitchell, who's not eligible in this draft, a full 10 points lower at 127.5.
That's not normal.
No, it's not.
He's a freak.
He is a freak.
I'm very happy to have him.
So actually, this is me probably overthinking it, but there's an obvious choice here. And I'll just let the cat out of the bag. Luka Doncic is a point guard. That's what he's listed as. That's what we're going with. He's the obvious choice. I think there is another choice that warrants consideration. I'm not going to say it. I'm not even going to imply who I think it might be because I think he might be there for me with my next pick. So I will just leave it at that, and I will take Luka with my first pick. There was a tweet from about 10 days ago. One of these, there's so many good like stats Twitter accounts now that I lose track of them. So I apologize and I'm not giving proper credit where credit is due, but basically he was talking about who like the tough shots that you take as a shooter versus the easy looks that you get for your teammates. And this correlated with another like graphic that was out only a couple days ago, where Luka is in like his own category of difficult shots that he takes, and he makes a fair amount of them. But really, going back to that other tweet, I think two Mavs were at the top of the list of like easiest threes in the league, and that's really it's because of Doncic. He gets those looks for those players. The thing that I will say about Luka is like, yes, his points per shot attempts are very good because he gets to the line a freaking metric ton, and like for as much as his percentages might be a little bit lower, he still makes a lot of shots. Like his gift is that he is a one-man offense, and if you have him and you surround him by role players, you still got to have a pretty good chance at 50 wins. That does not necessarily mean you're the best fit for a team that is trying to win a championship. Do I think he's going to win multiple championships? Yes, I do. Does he maybe need to continue to grow a little bit more, or maybe it's just he needs to get on a different team? I don't know. But I'm taking him here. That's my number 2 pick.
We haven't yet seen him next to a star.
No.
And what that
all
looks
due respect
like,
to Jalen Brunson.
Yes. And it's hard to even imagine what that looks like because of how crazy high his usage is. And I think it's a fair question to ask. What does it look like when he's not on the ball? Because he literally is never not on the ball.
I mean, we asked those questions with Trey leading into this year, and it hasn't gone.
It hasn't worked. Yep.
No.
Yep. And Luka, I think, will figure it out because he, in the end, I think will be a very malleable player because he's big enough to be, because a healthy amount of catch and shoot shots will actually be very healthy for him. He doesn't hit all his threes right now are step backs. Every one. He doesn't take any catch and shoot threes. It's like
he doesn't get them.
He doesn't get them.
Opportunities. Yeah.
And yeah, he's absurdly talented and good. And
who do you think would be his best, or what player type do you think would be his best partner? Because I think the obvious answer is like you look at the LeBron AD partnership from a few years ago and something like that, or do you think it's more of an on-ball perimeter guy?
Or something in between, like a Paul George type.
Oh, well,
I could see that.
Yeah,
I don't think the one I don't think you want is like Trae Young. That's the one I don't think you want. You want someone who guards, first of all. It could be a big, like a Embiid, or God, imagine him and Embiid.
Oh, no, I can't imagine that.
Him and Giannis, which was when Giannis hadn't signed yet. That was something that was talked about as a potential pairing. Can you imagine?
No, I can't imagine that. That would
break the league. So
it would break the league.
Yeah.
How would they? I mean, they would win every year, I think, for a while.
Yeah, he's awesome. I think he's the obvious second pick.
Okay. So that goes back to you because we're not doing snake style. We go alternating.
This is a tough one.
It is a tough one. And I'm curious to see, because there is, again, trying to win a championship this year. I think it is reasonable to say that every possible name on the board at this point has something where you look at them and you're like, I don't love that. Mm-hmm. Or like, that is not ideal. And I think that speaks to your point before about the position is not really maybe where it was at one time.
Those are the two. Well, yeah. I mean, there are guys that have won championships here.
There are.
But those are the only two guys where I would be confident that they could be the best player on a championship team. Stops there after those two.
Where you would be confident. Yes, I would agree with that statement.
I mean, obviously, Steph's already done it. Luka, I think chances are will do it. Everybody else, is it possible if they're on the right team and like even maybe their current team? It's possible, yes. But like, I wouldn't predict it if you asked me. Like, I would bet against it.
That's a great call. There's no one else on the board that I would predict at any point in their career would be the best player on a championship team. That's a great call.
Which makes this hard. All right. I'm going to pick someone. Oh my God.
That's a great, wonderful observation. That was I guess obvious, but that's a great observation.
I just thought of it now. It wasn't something I planned. I have two names that I'm debating.
Oh, I wonder. I'll tell you.
All right. I'm going to take Ja Morant.
Okay.